Central Ohio Sports Network's broadcast will begin in less than 5 minutes. I'm Brent Ford, voice of the Westerville Central Warhawks on COSN. Glad you could be with us. Stay tuned. Warhawk pregame is right around the corner in less than 5 minutes. This is Central Ohio Sports Network's broadcast coverage of the Westerville Central Warhawks. Our Warhawk pregame will begin in less than 4 minutes. Keep it right here on Central Ohio Sports Network. Central Ohio Sports Network, our coverage of Westerville Central will begin in less than 3 minutes right here on COSN. Warhawk pregame coming right up. We've hit the 2-minute warning. Warhawk pregame is coming right up on Central Ohio Sports Network. Warhawk pregame begins in 1 minute. Our broadcast presentation of the Westerville Central Warhawks. It's coming up right here on COSN. "30 seconds until showtime. Warhawk pregame is about to get underway right here, COSN. Central Ohio Sports Network broadcast presentation of the Westerville Central Warhawks begins in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3,
The following is a broadcast presentation of Central Ohio Sports Network. Welcome to Warhawk Pregame on Central Ohio's Sports Network.
Back from Warhawk Gymnasium as Westerville Central gets ready to take on a big-time opponent in the OCC Ohio. New Albany, the Eagles, are in town, and both these teams right now tied for first place along with Pickerington North and Gahanna in the OCC Ohio. All four teams are 3-1 in the division, and they're all looking for big wins. Tonight, Gahanna is at Pickerington North. New Albany is here at Westerville Central. Wes Minke is here with us. Lance Wyatt at home recuperating. We wish him nothing but the best on his recovery from being sick. So we hope to hear him tomorrow night. And we'll preview this matchup next on Central Ohio Sports Network.
The year was 1907. The Cubs won the World Series and the Ford Model R hit the assembly line. While here in Ohio, school administrators came together to form the Ohio High School Athletic Association. One thing that hasn't changed since 1907 is the dedication of the OHSAA to education-based athletics in Ohio. School sports teach responsibility, sportsmanship, and life lessons that stay with students long after their playing days are over. The OHSAA seeks to prepare students not for the next level of sport, but for the next level of life.
This is what matters. This is beyond X's and O's. This is the difference mutual respect makes. This is what character looks like. This is what defines us in Ohio. This is sportsmanship. School sports, it's not the outcome that matters most, but the way the games are played. This message presented by the Ohio High School Athletic Association and the Ohio Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
You're listening to Warhawk Pregame on Central Ohio Sports Network.
Welcome back inside Warhawk Pregame here on Central Ohio Sports Network. Brent Ford with you as we get set for tonight's matchup. Wes Minke along with us as well here in Warhawk Gymnasium. Westerville Central coming off a 2-game winning streak right now. They beat Central Crossing 50-46, and they beat Dublin Jerome 64-51. New Albany is currently riding an 8-game winning streak. Their last 2 wins coming against Upper Arlington 60-45 and Pickerington North 52-48. So if you look at the divisional breakup here, New Albany beat Pickerington North. Pickerington North beat Westerville Central. Westerville Central beat Gahanna, and Gahanna and Pickerington North are playing tonight. It's crazy. First place between 4 teams. Grove City and Central Crossing, they're playing at the bottom there. They're both 0-4 in the division. They're both looking for their first win in divisional play. But just how critical this game is tonight, Wes. Westerville Central and New Albany, a lot on the line, not only for tournament time because that tournament draw is February 9th, but for the OCC standings, trying to compete for a championship in your conference. I mean, it's just a pivotal night for the Silver and Black.
Yeah, we talked often about how this team for Westerville Central how talented they are, right? Get hot in a couple wins back-to-back. Start to see the season turn around a little bit. Huge matchup tonight. Obviously, win this one. You at least give yourself a tie for first with one of those teams, Gahanna or
Pickerington
North.
Yep.
So at least one of those teams you'll be tied with. Huge matchup tonight. Obviously, at home, get a little momentum going into that big swing tomorrow night against a team they will not see again in Lindsley. So a chance for a big win, a chance in front of a big home crowd. We're expecting a huge Hawks Nest tonight, so hopefully they show up big.
You know, it's a fun Hawks Nest tonight. It's a college game day theme from ESPN, and they're supposed to wear jerseys, and the main leaders of the Hawks Nest are in their, best TV attire, of course, the suits. I know you had one of those nights when you were here.
Yeah, we did. Me personally, tonight I'm looking for my Lee Corso. I want to see someone throw on that Hawks head at the end of the night. I'd love to see the mascot make an appearance.
That would be nice. They should do a helmet pick.
Lee Corso, yeah.
Yeah, the mascot pick. That'd be great. When you look at how Westerville Central has been playing the last couple of games, they're sharing the basketball. They're distributing more, something we haven't seen recently, and they're probably going to have to do that more tonight. Yeah,
you talked as well about the discipline that Tim Casey's team from New Albany has. You mentioned it pregame. If this team is disciplined, they're going to have a shot. Westerville Central has to stay disciplined tonight. That New Albany squad is going to be disciplined. How does Westerville Central respond to that? Obviously, not a lot of shots at the free throw line expected. you need your stars to step up again. So Josh Henderson's got to have a huge game. You mentioned earlier Amari Spivak, got to be able to dish the ball around, keep the rock moving. Huge factors. Hopefully Central can hang tight tonight.
Westerville Central and New Albany getting ready to tip things off in an OCC Ohio divisional matchup. We'll talk with Westerville Central head coach Max Shaver next as we continue on COSN.
When you're high, you feel different. You think different, you talk different, you draw different, you listen to music different, but you probably knew that. Problem is, you also drive different, and not in a good way. That's why driving high is illegal everywhere. So if you're high, just don't drive. Make a plan to get a sober ride. Because if you feel different, you drive different. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Hey, Russell Wilson here, and I know how important exercise is.
It's essential. It's essential.
With Play 60, United Way and the NFL are helping kids stay active and play at least 60 minutes a day.
Healthy kids. Healthy kids.
But what this place needs is you. To donate or volunteer, go to unitedway.org/play60 because great things happen when we live united.
Donate.
Are you guys going to do that every time?
Yes, of course. Yes, of course.
Brought to you by United Way and the Ad Council.
You're listening to Warhawk Pregame on Central Ohio Sports Network.
Welcome back inside Warhawk Pregame, Central Ohio Sports Network. Brent Ford joined with Westerville Central head coach Max Shaver. And you just said it before we started, Coach, 2 in a row. How important is that for your squad right now?
Yeah, I think it doesn't matter who you beat. You know, and I'm telling you right now, Central Crossing just beat Olentangy, who I think is a very good team. I think Dublin Jerome just, you know, right now they're in a little slump shooting, but I think they're a good team as well. And those were 2 big wins for us confidence-wise. And I think if we can just keep trucking along and buying in to our culture and everything that we're trying to pursue. I mean, coming up to tournament time will be here in a month. So if we continue chugging along and doing the right things, I think we have a good shot to you know, make a run.
I think the current standings in the OCC Ohio are a testament to how tough this division is of the OCC. The fact that you guys are in contention for first place and you're looking at a team in New Albany that's playing very well. You know, they're riding a very long win streak right now. They're 2 losses from early in the season. So how important is getting a win at home against a very good New Albany team? Yeah,
it's huge. And our goal tonight is to get a fast start because you can't let a team like New Albany get a head start because they're so skilled and they're so disciplined and fundamental. You know, there's a game earlier this year. They were down 17-2 against Groveport Madison and came back and pulled out the win. And that's just a testament to who they are and who Coach Casey is and the culture that he develops. It's just they're a good team. There's no doubt about it. But you know, we've had a great 2 days of practice. We've prepared our butts off, and hopefully it pays off.
Over the last couple games, I've noticed that Amari Spivak is distributing the basketball a little bit more, and that's been really good for your team. And he seems to really be maybe is gelling into that role. Do you think he's starting to understand that is something that's really important for the team aspect?
Yeah, I think he understands what his role is, and right now, if it's getting paint touches and kicking to our shooters, he can do that. But he also can finish strong at the rim. I think he's guarding a lot better right now, and you know, we can't take any steps back. And I know I've said this before, but we can't afford, whether that's effort-wise, whether that's us playing together as a team, as a group, we can't afford to take steps back. And that doesn't necessarily mean a loss, but that just means taking steps back into bad habits. We can't afford that right now, especially, you know, heading into some pivotal games.
Free throws, is that any concern right now? The shooting percentage is down a little bit at the line. Is that a concern for you right now?
Yeah, absolutely. Against Central Crossing, it was horrendous. That's a 15-point win if you make your free throws. Josh did a great job last game knocking down free throws. I think he missed 1. But yeah, it's a concern. It's something we work on. In my opinion, it's a big mental thing and repetition thing. And you just got to go up to the line with the same routine, same mindset that you're going to knock it down and kind of go from there. And I think it's a confidence thing as well.
You talk about the season you got about a month ago, but it's a little shorter than that because the tournament draw is going to be before. So how important are the next couple weeks for your team?
Yeah, with the tournament draw on February 9th, I was looking at it today. I think we have, I want to say 6 more games maybe before we enter our record. So every game right now matters. Every game's pivotal to where we're going to end up in the rankings. So we obviously want to get the best position we can in the Division II tournament. But I'm telling you, man, if we can get it clicking, I have confidence that we could be a dangerous team come tournament time.
Coach, thanks for your time.
Yep, thanks, Brent.
That's Westerville Central head coach Max Shaver. And when we come back, we'll have your anthem starters and tip on COSN.
This has been Warhawk Pregame on Central Ohio Sports Network.
Welcome to today's game. This is Paul Keels, and you know how much I love broadcasting the Buckeyes, but I also love high school sports. On behalf of the OHSAA, let's all do our part to set a good example and make this a fun and safe experience for the kids involved. I know this game means so much to the players, coaches, and fans, but high school sports are about much more than the wins and losses. They teach life lessons that will be with the players long after their playing days are over. Good luck to both teams, and remember to respect the game.
I loved playing high school sports. I loved the competition, the camaraderie, the bands, the crowds, all the pageantry, and I wanted to keep playing. But I graduated. No colleges called, and neither did the pros. So, to stay close to the game I loved, I decided to become a high school official. You know, a referee. When I played high school sports, I learned the importance of integrity, good sportsmanship, and respect for the rules. Now, as a high school official, I get to help model these same values to others. Maybe the colleges and the pros didn't call, but the kids in Ohio did. And now, I'm enjoying the competition, the camaraderie, the bands, the crowds, and all the pageantry of high school sports all over again.
Interested in becoming a licensed high school official? Go to highschoolofficials.com to learn more and begin the application process.
Connect with Central Ohio Sports Network on Twitter and Instagram at COSN Audio, and like us on Facebook at facebook.com/Central Ohio Sports Network. COSN social media will have score updates, pictures from the game, audio clips, interviews, and more. Follow and like today. Central Ohio Sports Network. Sports coverage by the fans. The following is a broadcast presentation of Central Ohio Sports Network.
Dylan Edens with the game winner at the buzzer! Lemaire for a quick 3 near side. Got it! Westerville Central wins it in double overtime. Clark drives the shot. Good! Quincy Clark! Long throw for Pedroso into traffic. Loose ball. Brad Leonard gets it. That's it! Westerville Central gets the win over Westerville South. That's it! It's all over. The district champs are Westerville Central for the first time in school history. And a dunk for MJ Davis. Tillman with a last-second 3! Oh! Back-to-back district titles for Westerville Central. Cook 1 second from half court. It's up and it's in! Oh my gosh! No way! Holy crap! Westerville Central wins it at the buzzer! Tassos Cook sends Westerville Central to the Final Four! Dribbling it out is Quincy Clark, and Kevin Martin goes nuts for Westerville Central as the Warhawks, with 2 seconds, are on their way to Championship Sunday. Henderson, the last second 3! He banked it in! Oh my goodness! It's youth basketball night for Westerville Central as they play host to New Albany in Warhawk Gymnasium from Westerville Central High School. Brent Ford, Wes Minke, and Skip Ford keeping the numbers for us here from our beautiful spot. I think this is the best spot in the conference to call a basketball game. We're a few rows up from the scores table, get to see the action. No one really sitting in front of us. It's a great spot, best spot in the OCC. Well, it's going to be a fun one, Wes. When you look at the competition, Tim Casey's squad is always going to be disciplined. And why is this game so special? It's because Max Shaver has a great history with Tim Casey. Tim Casey is the godfather of Max Shaver's sister, Morgan.
Wow. That's interesting.
And someone from Max's, Coach Shaver's family was a roommate of Coach Casey's at Wittenberg. So the two families have known each other for a long, long time.
Wow.
So this is one of those great nights for Coach Max Shaver. Let's go to the national anthem down on the court. Your national anthem here at Westerville Central High School as we get ready for this big clash in the OCC Ohio. Maybe through the game we'll try to get some score updates from that Gahanna and Pickerington North game as well. But we got to focus on this New Albany and Westerville Central matchup. These two teams 3-1 in the OCC Ohio. Westerville Central coming in with 4-8 record overall. The New Albany Eagles are 9-2 overall. Their two losses coming earlier in December. But against non-league opponents, New Albany is 6-1. On the road, New Albany is 3-1. They're 6-1 at home. Westerville Central on the season at home is 1-3. They've struggled here at Warhawk Gymnasium. But Coach Shaver's got 4 wins now at the helm of Westerville Central. He's got 31 in his career for wins. This is game number 496 for Westerville Central all-time, and they're looking to get all-time win number 253 if they can. It's going to be a tough one, but let's get to your starting lineups for tonight's game. First, for the New Albany Eagles, at guard, a 6'2" junior, number 2, Caden Kistner. At guard, a 6'4" junior, number 3, Marco Matucci. At guard, a 6'6" junior, number 5, Daniel Krylov. At forward, a 6'3" senior, 21, Miles Jackson. And at forward, a 6'4" senior, number 23, Grady Bush. The Eagles are led by head coach Tim Casey. Here are the starting lineups for the Warhawks of Westerville Central. In the post, a 6'1" senior, 0, Ethan Burns. A 6'5" senior on the wing, a captain, number 2, Josh Henderson. At guard, a 6'2" senior, captain, number 3, Amari Spiva. On the wing, a 6'3" junior, 5, Matt Brett. And at guard, a 6' junior, 20, Mason Gooden. The Warhawks are led by head coach Max Shaver. The play tonight from Mason Gooden, because it's been outstanding the last several games, is going to be critical tonight, along with how Amari Spiva can distribute the basketball. That's going to be crucial for Westerville Central. They have to work as a team, and Wes, they get to show off a little bit for youth night as they get to go shake hands with all those youth players on the introduction.
Yeah, that's a cool high school moment. That's one of those things you don't forget. One of those things that will stick with those guys for a very long time, and those little guys too.
Westerville Central in their home whites with the silver and black trim. New Albany is in their road dark maroon jerseys with the Vegas gold trim. A black New Albany written across the chest, the Vegas gold numerals. And this will be Josh Henderson to take the opening tip with Krylov. Daniel Krylov sends it up. And Westerville Central will win the opening tip, and they will travel left to right as we see it. We're underway from Warhawk Gymnasium on this Friday evening. Glad you could be with us. Mason Gooden will give it off to Henderson, top of the key, and out Burns onto the right side wing. Into the corner, Spiva. Spiva free throw line. Gives it back out to Matt Brett between the circles. Onto the left wing to Henderson. Henderson will bring it out. Find Burns cutting top of the key. Burns moves right point to Matt Brett. Brett down to the left point. Henderson, three, rims off, no good. The rebound will go to Miles Jackson. He'll push the floor, give it up to Bush. Bush lays it up, and it's going to go in for two. Good transition for New Albany, but Westerville Central didn't get back on defense in that transition. So it's New Albany leading 2-0 with 7:13 to play in the opening quarter. A great loud moment for the New Albany student section that showed up this evening. The Hawks Nest a little quiet at the moment. Amari Spiva will have it high left side for Westerville Central. Dish it off to Burns, left point. Hand off Henderson between the circles. Drives down to the left block. Euro step inside and gets that one to drop in. Josh Henderson.
That's a super skilled bucket there. Tough shot. Obviously, you don't want to make Josh Henderson force shots early. Find his groove, but that's one of those. But he gets to go early. It feels good for him.
Krylov will have it for New Albany. Gives it off to Matucci to the near side. Working near side wing is Krylov. Krylov against Henderson. Picked up his dribble, goes center logo to Matucci. And Marco Matucci will work onto the high right side with 6:23 first quarter clock. Knotted up at 2 apiece. Krylov far side right on a wing. Krylov tries to get around Henderson, can't. Goes back outside to Bush. Bush will give it off Jackson. Jackson hand off to Kistner at center logo. Tied at 2, 6:08, first quarter clock. New Albany with the possession. They work right side, Matucci, three, back iron, no. Ethan Burns the rebound for Westerville Central. And Amari Spiva will walk it across the timeline left to right. Spiva will work onto the high right side in those purple Nikes. On his feet down there. He'll drive, dish it out to Henderson, who pulls up from the right elbow. Back iron, no, but Mason Gooden coming across the formation to get the rebound. Henderson a drive right side, left it short. That's no good. The rebound will go to Jackson of New Albany. Loses the handle, goes into the lane, left side, loses the basketball into the hands of Ethan Burns. Burns up the floor to Henderson. Henderson left of the lane, and with a little contact will draw the foul, and he'll shoot two.
Yeah, something again we mentioned. You don't want Henderson to take tough shots. He's the only guy taking a shot so far for Central. Need the ball to keep moving around, keep working at other places, but obviously want the ball in the best player's hands.
Caden Kistner will pick up his team's first for New Albany. And it'll put Josh Henderson at the free throw line for Westerville Central. Back iron miss, no good. You know, we talked about it in the pregame with Coach Sauber, how critical free throws need to be for Westerville Central. Their shooting percentage at the line is very low right now. And Josh Henderson, who's been shooting well at the line, just missed his first. His second is up and good.
Big pop from the kids there at center court.
The youth basketball players enjoying tonight's action from midcourt, right on the sideline. 5:15 first quarter, 3-2 Westerville Central. New Albany with the basketball. They'll work right side to Matucci on the wing. Checked by Gooden. Feeds free throw line to Bush. Bush outside. They give it off Matucci between the circles. Now onto the right side, Jackson. Jackson, checked by Gooden, feeds inside, stolen away by Amari Spiva for Westerville Central. He'll push left to right, drive it to the right side and lay it in for two, Amari Spiva.
What a tough bucket there for Spiva. That gets this offense and the crowd going big time.
5-2, 4:45 to play first quarter. Westerville Central leads, New Albany with the basketball. Marco Matucci will work onto the right side wing to Krylov. He'll set up on that right side wing against Gooden. Krylov trying to get around Gooden, drives into the lane, puts up the shot, banks it home. His first points of the night for Krylov, and they bring it within one, 5-4. 4:23 first quarter for Westerville Central with the lead in the basketball over New Albany. Pretty decent crowd on hand, and they're still filing in here at Warhawk Gymnasium. Matt Brett will have it near side wing for the Warhawks. Now center logo to Amari Spiva. Spiva dribbles against Jackson. To the near side, a handoff Brett. Brett dribbles it out, hands it off Henderson high right. New Albany switching everything defensively off of screens. Ethan Burns will work onto the left side wing. Burns, and we're going to get an illegal screen here by Matt Brett. That'll be the first on Matt Brett. Team foul number 1 for the Silver and Black.
You mentioned mental errors. I mean, it's simple things, right? But If Central can control what they can control, they can keep themselves in this game. Those types of plays are what can take you out of it quick.
New Albany will have the basketball. They'll work right to left to the near side and Kistner. Kistner will feed it inside to Krylov. Krylov down to the right block, and he banks it in. That's going to give New Albany the lead back, 6-5 Eagles. And now Henderson pops the quick three straight ahead. That's no good. Mason Gooden saves it from going out of bounds, but it's into the hands of the Eagles. Up the floor quickly to Bush. Bush underneath the basket, feeds Krylov, puts it up, and Krylov gets it in.
Krylov's been having his way early with this Western Central defense. Transition defense has been the biggest part for Central. They cannot keep up with New Albany.
Krylov has 6 of the 8 New Albany points. It's 8-5 New Albany over Westerville Central. Central has the basketball. Henderson a drive, but draws the foul. No basket. Foul is on the floor.
Much to the chagrin there of the youth basketball players. They wanted that one, the and one for Josh Henderson.
That's 2 on Caden Kistner. Team foul number 2 for New Albany, as Tyler Gooden, who made his reappearance last game, subs in here for Mason Gooden. Ethan Burns' pass stolen away by Jackson of New Albany. Jackson in the lane, and he'll lose the basketball. Last touched it was Jackson, and it will be Westerville Central possession.
Yeah, you mentioned the discipline early from New Albany. Obviously waiting in the passing lanes, picking off passes early, turning over Central. If they can figure out how to slow themselves down, Max Jarvis been pushing that early. Coach is not letting the transition offense want to fly up the court, begging his team to slow the ball down.
Officials stop for a moment to discuss something on the floor. I think our statistician Skip Ford knows one of those refs. Mr. Andre Mock, former Otterbein footballer, that's right. Cousin of the great Jeff Gibbs, that's right. One of the great Otterbein basketball players and football players. Won a national title there in basketball at the Division III level. Westerville Central will have it to the near side. Matt Brett, 3. Off to the right, no good. And the rebound will go to Grady Bush of New Albany. 2:32 on that first quarter clock. It's 8-5 New Albany. Jackson, right point 3. Buries it.
That's a great shot there from New Albany, waiting for the open look. Obviously something Central did well on the last set, but just couldn't bury it from Matt Brett.
11-5, New Albany leads Westerville Central with 2:12 to play opening quarter. Westerville Central with the basketball and another illegal screen, this time on Ethan Burns. That will be his first, team's second, as Coach Shaver trying to get an explanation from the officials about the illegal screens, and I think he is getting one from one of the officials. 2:10 on the first quarter clock. And New Albany will have the basketball, leading 11-5. Kistner onto the right side for the Eagles. Will hand it off Krylov. Krylov a dribble onto that right wing. An exchange to Bush. Now between the circles, Matucci. Matucci, a little shot inside the arc. That's no good from the left point. And it'll be rebounded by Amari Spiva off the miss. 1:40 to play first quarter. Spiva drive, kicks corner, 3, Tyler Gooden, and he puts it home.
That's a great play there from Spiva. Draws both guys in, kicks it out wide. Easy shot.
Westerville Central will lead things 14-8. Jackson will have it. Top of the key for New Albany. And he'll work to the near side point. And Krylov, they work inside to Jackson. Jackson loses the handle. It goes out of bounds.
Can hear the Hawks Nest start to get going here.
I misspoke. It's actually 11-8 New Albany. Turnover by the Eagles. Westerville Central will have the basketball with a minute to go in the opening quarter. An 11-8 lead for the Eagles. Here's Amari Spiva, a drive, kicks far side. Brett gathers for the 3, and it rims in and out, no good. Picked up by Marco Matucci for New Albany. He'll bring it across the timeline right to left. To the near side, and Kistner. Near side, Wayne Matucci. Krylov, this near side, drives down to the baseline, gets cut off by Spiva, feeds back out to Matucci. The three, no. Spiva the rebound, Westerville Central. 22 seconds to play opening quarter. Henderson, sporting the headband, will hold it high right side. I think you gave him a nickname on that, right?
Yeah, Headband Henderson. Hopefully it's followed by a big three sometime.
7 seconds. Here's Henderson, straight on three. Off the mark, no good. It goes over the backboard, and it'll be New Albany basketball. Almost. You almost got your big
perfect.
three.
That could have been.
Mason Gooden comes in and gives Matt Brett a breather for Westerville Central. 3 seconds, first quarter to play. It's New Albany 11, Westerville Central 8. Westerville Central showing a little pressure here full court. Jackson gets it in. Here's Matucci. Far side, final shot for the three. That's no good. End of one, 11-8 New Albany leading Westerville Central on COSN.
Attention high school sports fans, are you an armchair official? You know, the parent or fan who constantly yells at the referees and loves to let everyone know just how bad you think they are. Well, if you think you could do better, then get in the game and prove it. It's time for you to suit up and make the calls where they actually count. Every sport in Ohio needs more officials. Sign up today at highschoolofficials.com.
Buckeye football great and NFL Super Bowl champion Jim Lachey on sportsmanship.
Winning and losing can teach kids many lessons, but high school sports are truly about respecting your opponent, representing your school, and building the foundation for a lifetime of success. High school sports create memories that last a lifetime, and member schools of the OHSAA are committed to following a high set of standards. Whether it's on the field or in the stands, we can all do our part to respect the game.
This message brought to you by the Ohio High School Athletic Association.
This is the home of the Westerville Central Warhawks, Central Ohio Sports Network.
Second quarter about to get underway, and in that first quarter, Westerville Central went 3 of 10, 1 of 5 from behind the arc, 1 of 2 at the line, 4 boards, 3 steals, and 2 turnovers for the Warhawks. Thanks to our statistician Skip Ford for giving us those numbers. And it'll be New Albany to start this second quarter with possession. And they will work right to left as we see it. Brent Ford, Wes Minke, Skip Ford with you. Here from Warhawk Gymnasium. Jackson will have it for the Eagles, and he'll work near side Matucci. Matucci will work into the near side. 3 for Jackson. That's an air ball. Mason Gooden fights for it. It goes out of bounds off of the Eagles, and the Warhawks will have the possession.
I'll tell you what, I've loved the effort so far from the Warhawk defense. They've played with a lot of heart. Just the offense, again, sloppy play so far, quit on the turnovers, and we've got ourselves a great game.
7:40, second quarter to play. It's 11-8 New Albany. Westerville Central with the basketball here. Amari Spiva off of a screen to his right, sets up onto the right point, drives down to the right block, layup too hard off the glass. Jackson the rebound, New Albany. He'll push the floor right to left, Jackson. Across the timeline, checked by Burns. Jackson around the back dribble, goes into the paint. Finger roll to the left side. That's no good. Tipped out, controlled by Henderson of Westerville Central. Up the floor, Henderson left to right. Gets stopped onto the left side, and he'll bring it out looking for a screen to his right. Gets it by Burns. Now moves ahead of the circle. Now to the right elbow. Spins, free throw line. Fade shot. Nope, he goes to the left side. Mason Gooden. Now Henderson with the possession again. Left wing. Into the lane he goes. He draws the foul. Shot will be no good.
That's 2 straight shots he's had on the floor. Makes him anyway.
The foul was on Evan Murfield, his first, team's first in this second quarter of New Albany. And under 7 to play in the opening quarter. Westerville Central will inbound. Far side baseline to our right as they trail 11-8. Henderson inbounds, goes up top, Mason Gooden. Left point, now to Spiva. He wasn't ready for that pass, but luckily he was able to get it. Spiva to the near side, goes free throw line. Dishes underneath, Ethan Burns left side, puts it up for 2.
That's another great assist there from Spiva. Obviously moving the ball around, just like you mentioned pregame. Needs that to continue.
Great job by Amari Spiva. Mason Gooden all over Kistner. Picked up his dribble, goes right side Matucci. Onto the wing, checked by Tyler Gooden. Matucci gives it off right side. Bush out top to Johansson. Near side, Krylov 3, that's no good. Ball tipped out, controlled by Tyler Gooden of Westerville Central.
That's great effort there on both sides from Tyler Gooden.
Here's Henderson, left side. Spiva thought about the 3. Now works high left. I think Coach Casey wanted a travel there on Amari Spiva, but Spiva pulls up from the right elbow. Too hard. Mason Gooden rebound. Put back is good for 2.
The Gooden brothers with a ton of effort tonight. 2 huge plays back to back.
And just like that, Westerville Central has a 1-point advantage, 12-11. New Albany with the basketball. 3 for Johansson. Too hard. Air ball to the left. It's going to be picked up by Bush inside. He misses. Johansson got the rebound, goes out of bounds off of Westerville Central.
You mentioned the New Albany discipline, but really it's Westerville Central forcing bad shots. That's caused New Albany to really not score yet this period, but that Warhawk offense starting to get a little live here.
Substitutions come in for both teams. It's 5:39 on the second quarter clock, and 12-11 lead for Westerville Central, and we're going to get a full timeout on the floor by Coach Shaver of Westerville Central. We'll take it with them as the Warhawks lead by 1, 12-11 on COSN.
The phone's blowing up, but you're in the driver's seat. Ignore the buzz, keep your eyes on the street. No text back, no scroll, just let it wait. Attention on the road, that's the only way. Phone's blowing up, but you're in the driver's seat. Ignore the buzz, keep your eyes on the street. No text back, no scroll, just let it wait.
Don't drive distracted. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
I love playing sports, especially for my school. And that's because school sports are special. It's where it's safe to fail. It's where we're taught resilience, where our fear becomes confidence. It's where we learn to get back up after every fall. School sports are where 7.8 million students go from I can't to I can.
This message presented by the OHSAA and the Ohio Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
This is the home of the Westerville Central Warhawks, Central Ohio Sports Network.
Feeling the energy here in Warhawk Gymnasium, the Hawks Nest, the Warhawk Pep Band. Brent Ford, Wes Minke, Skip Ford with you. New Albany to inbound out of the timeout. Matucci will have it. Onto that high right side. Now drives down to the right baseline. Kicks it into the corner, but it's poked out of bounds by Josh Henderson.
It's good effort again. The Westerville Central defense all over New Albany's offense have not given them a breath.
Miles Jackson will inbound in the corner to our left. Jackson gets it in to Kistner. Kistner dribbles to the near side, hands it off. Matucci works top of the key to Jackson. Jackson a handoff right side to Thorne, who checked in. Now Matucci rounding the arc, drives far side. Thorne back to Matucci. Free throw line, gets tripped. He hits the floor hard, but he does draw the foul there. They're going to call that on Mason Gooden. It'll be his team's first of the second quarter.
I think that's a foul that I think Max Shaver's probably okay with. Obviously forcing the issue a little bit, but probably something he's cool with on that one.
Matucci to inbound, gets tipped by Mason Gooden, and he steals the basketball midair. Up the floor to Henderson. Henderson left side for Westerville Central. Henderson inside, brings it back out to Mason Gooden. Now Mari Spiva sets up high left. 5:03 second quarter, 1-point advantage, Westerville Central over New Albany, 12-11. Henderson will dribble the basketball to the center logo, now walk it to the high right, checked by Marco Matucci. This is Henderson, hands it off to Spiva. Onto the right point, into the corner, Tyler Gooden, 3, rims off, no good. Marco Matucci gets the rebound for New Albany, up the floor to Kistner. Kistner gets his pass stolen away by Tyler Gooden. Up the floor, Henderson. Henderson goes right side, and a blocking foul is called underneath, and it'll be Henderson to shoot 2.
The Goodens have been all around the ball tonight. You cannot keep them away. Both brothers making huge defensive plays back-to-back there.
Foul is on Marco Matucci, his first, team's second. Henderson for Westerville Central will go to the free throw line to shoot 2 for the Warhawks. His first one, takes a deep breath, eyes at toes, it shoots it. That one drops in. Josh Henderson with 4 points. Ethan Burns comes in for Tyler Gooden. You know who's got an interesting basketball game tonight is Ohio State.
Indiana?
Indiana.
Hoosiers are struggling right now with that $8 million roster.
And a 30-point loss, is that right, to Illinois
Yeah.
at home. Henderson misses the second one, but made his first. It's 13-11 Westerville Central over New Albany. 4:25 second quarter. Kistner will bring it across. He'll feed to the right point in Bush. Bush is going to draw the foul by Mason Gooden. That is going to be the second foul on Mason Gooden. Team foul 2 of the quarter. And Tyler Gooden will come in for Mason Gooden.
I think that's one of those plays where he gets a little too antsy. He's making a lot of defensive plays back-to-back. Wants to steal another one, but a little too handsy on that one.
This will be Matucci with the inbound. Center logo. Works to Jackson. Fake handoff. Jackson dribbles it out. Top of the key. Near side to Krylov. Krylov looks inside. Now feeds into the corner. Kistner. Kistner in trouble. Feeds Krylov on the left baseline. He'll dribble it out to Bush. Bush against Tyler Gooden and a reach-in foul on Tyler Gooden.
Just like his brother there, a little too handsy. Shawver did not think that was a foul, but the officials disagreed.
Officials said that Tyler Gooden's body was all into the offensive player. And this will be Kistner to Matucci to the near side. And down low is Matucci on the right block. He's able to put it up, but can't get it to go. Tyler Gooden the rebound, outlets to Henderson. Henderson to the near side wing. Henderson will bring it out in the corner. Now on the wing to Burns to Brett, high left. 2-point advantage, Westerville Central. Tyler Gooden between the circles. Burns near side to Henderson in the corner. Henderson brings it out, pumps the three, goes left. Spiva three from the wing, back iron, no. Tyler Gooden tracks down the rebound for a second. He thought Amari Spiva had it, but then it's stolen away by New Albany, and off a miss, Krylov tips it in.
Tough break there for the Warhawks. Obviously a mental mistake from Gooden.
Tied at 13 with 3:09 to play, second quarter. Westerville Central with the possession. Amari Spiva, right elbow, feeds to the wing near side to Henderson. Henderson a dribble, straight on three from the key, that's no good. Krylov the rebound for New Albany. Up the floor. Kistner, three corner. That's no good. Matt Brett fights for the rebound. Tips it to Ethan Burns. Up the floor to Amari Spiva. Spiva 1-on-3. Near side. Kicks. Corner. Three. Tyler Gooden, no. But got his own rebound. Feeds underneath Ethan Burns. Burns double team. Goes far side Amari Spiva. And Spiva will have to wait because Coach Shawver says he needs a 30-second timeout, and that's probably good. The floor was unbalanced by Westerville Central at times.
Just a little bit. Two guys in the corner there. Didn't know which way that pass was trying to go to, either Henderson or Spiva. Spiva comes up with it, but a nice timeout, nice breather there for Shawver. Regain some composure, figure out what's going on, and hopefully get some points here.
2:33 on this second quarter clock, and we're tied at 13 between Westerville Central and New Albany. That Warhawk pep band sounding good tonight.
Yeah, it is. Lively with the Hawks Nest as well. A nice pairing.
With their theme of ESPN's College Game Day.
It sure is feeling like it tonight. A Friday night football? How about Friday night basketball?
Friday night hoops. Doesn't get any better in the state of Ohio. And Central Ohio has great hoops. 2:33, second quarter. Tied at 13.
Looks like Braden Folds coming in tonight for the first time.
He does come in. Braden Folds plays a lot of minutes on that JV squad. And here getting some action, a 6'1 junior. Folds top of the key, but then Henderson gets it. Henderson will work free throw line, pull up, back iron, no. And Amari Spiva gets the rebound, feeds to Henderson, down to the left block he goes, puts up the shot, too far, and this will be an air ball. Matucci will have the rebound for the Eagles. 2:17 second quarter, tied at 13. New Albany will bring it across. Here's Marco Matucci at the center logo. Now to Kistner. Kistner to Jackson. Jackson inside, Krylov with the dunk.
Max Shawver displeased with his defense there. Obviously an easy pass in and a huge size advantage for Krylov.
They had some mismatches there. And Westerville Central down by 2, 15-13, with 1:43 to play in the second quarter. Spiva high left. Will dribble to the high right. Finds Burns to Tyler Gooden to Folds, far side wing. To Amari Spiva on that left side. 3 Warhawks on that left side. Now Spiva goes into the lane, kicks to Folds to the near side. He goes inside, finds Burns. Out to Tyler Gooden, far corner. Back to Folds, left point. Near side, Henderson on the right wing. Henderson dribbles top of the key, goes into the lane, hesitates, gets the ball stripped into the hands of Caden Kistner for New Albany. Gives it up to Matucci. Matucci will slow it down near side wing, left wide open for the 3. Off to the right, no good. Ball tipped up into the air, controlled by Bush. He goes outside, tipped by Henderson. The ball goes out of bounds on that far sideline. Last touch by Kistner of New Albany, and then all the subs come in for everybody. And my goodness, that was quite a bit.
All 5.
All those young kids were ready to get in. They didn't properly check in at the table, and the official says, let's have you check in. Guys, don't get too
they're getting
antsy
excited
there, I know.
Let me in, Coach, let me in.
A whole different 5 for New Albany.
Folds checks out too, so.
Tyler Gooden gets a breather as well. Matt Brett near side wing for Westerville Central, under a minute to play in the second quarter. Ethan Burns will dribble to the far side, drive into the paint, put up the shot. No, but he'll get a blocking foul. He'll shoot 2 at the line, and Coach Casey can't believe it.
And all 5 come back in for New Albany.
Jackson Thorne is going to pick up his first, team's 3rd. And all those starters will come in for New Albany after the first free throw by Ethan Burns. First one for Burns is up, and it does bounce in. He's got 3 points.
I think it's a confidence thing, at least from what I've noticed with Ethan Burns. He plays with a lot of confidence. He looks a lot better out there. When he plays a little more tight, looks like maybe Coach is under his skin a little bit. You know, he starts to make some mental errors. So playing loose and free has played a huge factor in his game.
Burns made his first, his second. Eyes it, toes it, shoots it, and rims in and out, no good. 42 seconds to play until halftime. And New Albany leads by 1, 15-14. They have the basketball, working right to left. Onto the far side, Krylov. Here's Bush, a handoff Matucci, top of the key. Spins into the lane, pulls away. That one's no good. Rebound to Westerville Central. And Coach Shawver tells his Warhawks, slow it down. Let's walk it across the timeline. 15 seconds, second quarter. Warhawks will hold for the last second shot here. Amari Spiva, high right. 8 on the clock. Here goes Spiva. Spiva goes left side, into the lane, hesitates, puts up the fade. That's no good. Henderson, the rebound. He can't get it put up in time, and that'll be halftime as New Albany leads Westerville Central 15-14. Our halftime report comes your way next on COSN.
Ma, is this how you feed a hamster?
I think so.
Is my homework right?
I think so.
Is, this milk still good?
I think so.
When it comes to parenting, sometimes it's okay to think you know. But when it's something as important as your child's car seat, don't just think. No. Double check if your child is in the right seat for their age and size. It'll help protect them in a car crash. Don't just think. No, by visiting nhtsa.gov/the right seat. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Car is making a strange noise. No matter what it is, you can't just pretend it's not happening.
That's an interesting sound.
It's like your mental health. If you're struggling and feeling overwhelmed, it's important to do something about it. It can be as simple as talking to someone or just taking a deep, calming breath to ground yourself. Because once you start to address the problem, you can go so much further. The Huntsman Mental Health Institute and the Ad Council have resources available for you at loveyourmindtoday.org.
Connect with Central Ohio Sports Network on Twitter and Instagram at COSN Audio, and like us on Facebook at facebook.com/Central Ohio Sports Network. COSN social media will have score updates, pictures from the game, audio clips, interviews, and more. Follow and like today. Central Ohio Sports Network. Sports coverage by the fans.
I'm a pretty great multitasker. I can wash dishes and do laundry. I can roller skate while walking my dog. I can even order lunch while doing my homework. But I can't use my phone while driving. A distracted driver is one of the leading causes of death in the United States. So when it comes to driving, please, don't be a multitasker.
Don't drive distracted. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
Welcome to the Halftime Report on Central Ohio Sports Network.
15-14 your halftime score. New Albany leads Westerville Central here at the break. Brent Ford, Wes Minke, and Skip Ford with your first half calculations. And Westerville Central in that first half started out really well. They're competing with New Albany. Can you believe that it was a 6-4 second quarter?
Yeah.
Westerville Central outscored New Albany in that quarter 6-4, but I mean, it was a lot of back and forth between those two teams.
I want to say first 3.5 minutes of that second quarter, too. I don't think New Albany scored a bucket. And I mentioned that Westerville Central defense, obviously all over New Albany, forcing a lot of tough looks, a lot of, deflections inside, didn't give a lot of chances. Krylov started getting going at the end of that quarter, at the end of the half in general. But a lot of defensive effort. Mason Gooden, Tyler Gooden, both boys playing out of their minds defensively, keeping the Warhawks in this one.
Krylov leads the scoring for New Albany with 10, followed up by Miles Jackson with 3. Grady Bush has 2. Leading scorers for Westerville Central is Josh Henderson with 4 points, Ethan Burns 3, Tyler Gooden 3, Amari Spiva and Mason Gooden each with 2 points for the Warhawks in that first half of action, as Westerville Central shot the ball 23%, 5 of 22 from the field, 1 of 10 from behind the arc, 3 of 6 at the line, 13 boards. Tyler Gooden has 4 of those, 3 assists. Amari Spiva with those, 3 assists, 4 turnovers for the Silver and Black at the break. And those rebounds are pretty important for Westerville Central. Of those 13 rebounds, 3 of those are offensive to give yourself some second chance opportunities and some free possessions. Keeping the turnovers low is good, but not shooting the ball well at all. But neither is New Albany in this stanza as well, as both teams really struggled in that second quarter, but the defense between both was really at a high rate.
Yeah, you mentioned, Westerville Central obviously playing out of their minds defensively, but that discipline factor we mentioned earlier, right? Westerville Central getting to the line a lot more than New Albany has so far. Hoping that continues in the second half. New Albany obviously playing well defensively, holding Central to 14 points in the first half, but Central doing the same thing, only 15 for New Albany, and only think a couple shots at the free throw line. So as long as they can stay as disciplined as they have, it should be a good finish.
Westerville Central trails New Albany at the break, 15-14. We'll have more of the halftime report as we continue after this on COSN.
Former Ohio State and NFL quarterback Bobby Hoy on life lessons through sports.
The member schools of the Ohio High School Athletic Association share in the mission of educational athletics. That means that school sports are an extension of the classroom and play an important part of a well-rounded education. Student athletes do a lot more than just play sports, but it's the lessons they learn through sports that last a lifetime.
This message brought to you by the Ohio High School Athletic Association.
Hi, I'm Ryan Blaney, a third-generation race car driver, and I dedicate a lot of my time going fast. But when my grandpa was diagnosed with Alzheimer's, it was a very unexpected bump in the road for us. It's important to notice if older family members are acting differently or having trouble with routine tasks. Early detection of Alzheimer's can give your family time to explore support services and access available treatments. If you or your family are noticing changes, it could be Alzheimer's. Talk about seeing a doctor together. Visit alz.org/time-to-talk. A message from the Alzheimer's Association and the Ad Council.
Jill, why don't you tell the class what you did this weekend?
Well, my dad and I went in search of some magical minnows and found a zillion of them in the stream from our lookout rock. Then my sister and I escaped from an evil slug king and went back to my super twig fort for safety. Then we told stories till it got dark, and the Big Dipper led us all the way home.
Wow. Where were you,
Jill? We went to the forest. It's not that far away.
Ask your parents to take you and your friends to the forest this week. It's closer than you think. Check out discovertheforest.org. Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service and the Ad Council.
The phone's blowing up, but you're in the driver's seat. Ignore the buzz, keep your eyes on the street. No text back, no scroll, just let it wait. Attention on the road, that's the only way. Phone's blowing up, but you're in the driver's seat. Ignore the buzz, keep your eyes on the street. No text back, no scroll, just let it wait.
Don't drive distracted. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
You're listening to the Halftime Report on Central Ohio Sports Network.
15-14 New Albany leads here at the break. Welcome back inside our halftime report. Brent Ford and Wes Minke with you. And I thought that first half was very good and brother-driven defensively. They would make a mistake, but they had more positives than they did mistakes in that first half.
Yeah, a couple of quick reach-in fouls. I believe it was Mason Good with those reach-in fouls. Then quickly makes up for it. The next exact play, puts his hand in the passing lane, deflects the pass away. Two big plays, right? Makes the defense work for your offense, gets the ball back in Josh Henderson and Amari Spiva's hands. That's really the only thing you can ask of them, right? They're not going to be the ones that go out there and score 20 points a game. That's what we're expecting Henderson to do instead. That's what we're expecting Spiva to kick the ball around and, make some plays for the offense. All they got to do is stop New Albany, right? Continue to stop and play disciplined. And I think Central has a chance. If that first half showed anything, Central's got a shot in this one.
Yeah, defensive stops are going to be critical for Westerville Central down the stretch. They have to find a way to get some of those big stops against this New Albany offense. And right now it's driven through Krylov. He's got 10 of the 15 New Albany points, so you have to find a way to contain Krylov. If you do that, you have to be careful because they can shoot the ball pretty well. New Albany can, and they can also drive. I mean, they're just a multi-talented team. You can't just take away one person that shuts down the game. You have to be aware of every single player on the floor.
Yeah, you and I mentioned too pregame, just almost a lack of size New Albany has, but looking at their roster, really, it's not really a lack of size. It's just they don't have a lot of big guys, but they also haven't got a lot of small guys, right? So you look inside those matchup nightmares, you could say, Daniel Krylov, 6'5", right? Big guy. Not really sure there's many guys on Central's team that match up with him physically. So obviously forcing the ball out of his hands. Obviously you mentioned 10 out of 15 points in that first half. So kind of keep it away from him, play contain around him, make those smaller guys shoot it out around.
15-14, New Albany leads Westerville Central. Our second half will come your way next, right after this on COSN.
This has been the Halftime Report on Central Ohio Sports Network.
This is your captain. We are going to be experiencing some slight turbulence. Please fasten your... Oh, hold on. Just got a video of my cat.
Imagine the pilot of an airplane was as confident as you are texting and driving. Seems kind of crazy when you put it like that.
Visit StopTextStopWrecks.org. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
I love playing sports, especially for my school. And that's because school sports are special. It's where it's safe to fail. It's where we're taught resilience, where our fear becomes confidence. It's where we learn to get back up after every fall. School sports are where 7.8 million students go from I can't to I can.
This message presented by the OHSAA and the Ohio Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
What is dedication?
People ask, how your children learn how to ride a bike and you didn't? I just created an environment where they taught themselves, and all I had to do was be there.
That's dedication. Visit fatherhood.gov to hear more. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
The impact of a meal goes well beyond feeding our bodies, because feeling full can sound like this.
How did the interview go?
I did it! I got the job! I can't believe it!
And like this.
Mom, I got first place at the science fair with my volcano project.
That's amazing, sweetie. Congratulations.
Because when people are fed, futures are nourished, and everyone deserves to live a full life. Join the movement to end hunger at feedingamerica.org/actnow. Brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council.
Connect with Central Ohio Sports Network on Twitter and Instagram at COSN Audio, and like us on Facebook at facebook.com/Central Ohio Sports Network. COSN social media will have score updates, pictures from the game, audio clips, interviews, and more. Follow and like today. Central Ohio Sports Network. Sports coverage by the fans. This is the home of the Westerville Central Warhawks. Central Ohio Sports Network.
Third quarter about to get underway here from Westerville Central as the Eagles lead Westerville Central 15-14, and we're going to have a stoppage of play here as just a little stoppage there at the scores table. And once they get everything all squared away, we'll get back to action here. And we're ready to roll. Westerville Central will start this third quarter with possession. And they'll work right to left as we see it. Westerville Central's Amari Spiva will have it onto that right side wing to Mason Gooden. Matt Brett will have it onto the right side. He's double teamed. Spiva gets the basketball to the free throw line. Kicks it near side. Mason Gooden, three wing. That one's back iron, no good. And that'll go to Miles Jackson on the rebound for New Albany.
As an offensive possession, I'm sure that Shawver's going to be very okay with. Obviously, a wide open three on one side, so those are the plays you look for.
7:28 to play in the third. New Albany's first possession of this third quarter. They're working left to right as we see it. Jackson down to the right block. Lost the handle, goes out to Krylov. He'll dribble, far side, now top of the key. Jackson three, that's no good. Amari Spiva will get the rebound. Amari Spiva will work right to left. His pass deflected in the lane, and then Amari Spiva will have it. Now Henderson straight on three, lets it rain from outside. Headband Henderson.
That's a big three there for confidence. Obviously a couple misses early on in this game, so get that part of his game going. It's going to be huge down the stretch.
Westerville Central takes the lead 17-15. With 6:44 to play, third quarter. Near side is Kistner for New Albany. They'll work top of the key, handed off Patucci. Now back far side Krylov. He'll drive down to the left baseline. Reverse layup, no good. And we're going to get a blocking foul underneath by Amari Spiva. It's a tough one underneath.
Looks like he was standing right where he looked to fall, so a tough call, but one that, again, you got to try and get out of the way of.
Amari Spiva picks up his first, team's first of the third quarter. 6:33 to play here in this third quarter. Krylov will shoot two at the free throw line for the Eagles. First one is up and good for Krylov. He's got 11 points now. It'll bring the Eagles within one, a chance to tie it here as those youth hoopers making their presence known. Back iron miss for Krylov.
I'll give that one to the youth hoopers there.
Absolutely. Henderson will have it now for Westerville Central to Amari Spiva in the backcourt. Works across the timeline into the forecourt. Onto the high right side. Henderson puts it to Henderson, or Spiva puts it to Henderson, who drives down to the right baseline. His shot missed. Rebound to Kistner up the floor. Krylov will have a one-handed dunk.
That's just tough transition defense the wrong way there for Central. Obviously only one guy back, three guys coming towards you. Rough look.
And a quick drive by Amari Spiva gets deflected. No whistles at the other end. And New Albany will have the possession now, leading by one, 18-17. Under 6 to play in the third. Krylov with an open baseline, lays it up, but can't miss it, or can't get it to go. Leaves it front of the rim. Westerville Central will have the possession. Henderson driving left baseline, kicks it inside, too hard for Burns to handle, but Matt Brett recovers to Amari Spiva. Spiva spins to his right, brings it out between the circles. He'll reset the offense for the silver and black. Amari Spiva, right wing. Spiva driving, puts it up, gets it stripped by Krylov, but it's a whistle and a foul on New Albany.
I think that's a ticky-tack foul there, but obviously Central will take it. They send Spiva to the line, trying to maybe take the lead here.
Krylov will pick up his first, team's first, and he'll put Amari Spiva at the free throw line for Westerville Central. He'll shoot 2. He's got 2 points on the evening so far, and that one is up, and it is good. Now 3 points. That ties the ball game up at 18.
Yeah, Spiva's effort both ways tonight has been obviously seen just get barely into the point column there, but I think he'll find his way in there in a big way by the end of the night.
Missed a second. Amari Spiva ties this game up at 18 with 5:17 to play in the third. On to the far side, Kistner finds Jackson left elbow. Jackson looks down low to Krylov, gets it to him on the block, but a reach-in foul by Amari Spiva here. Amari Spiva knew it immediately. Oh, they're actually going to call that on Ethan Burns.
Yeah, I thought it was on Spiva as well.
Burns is going to pick up his second, team's second. Missed shot by New Albany, but cleaning it up is Matucci for his first points of the night.
Again, it's those second chance points you mentioned earlier. Central can control the glass. It puts them in a good spot. But when they start giving those second chance point back, it's going to bite them.
20-18, New Albany. 4:47, third quarter. Henderson for Westerville Central, top of the key. Matt Brett near side 3 on the way. That one rattles in and out, rolls off to the right, no good. Everyone felt that one roll in and out.
That was a confidence bucket, too.
It was. New Albany got the rebound, but keeps shooting at Matt Brett. Now Jackson left wide open for a 3. He misses. And underneath, rebound and put back is good for Bush.
Again, Grady Bush underneath, just a little too big there for Spiva. A little bit of advantage on him, and he gets the easy board.
22-18. New Albany leads Westerville Central. Here's Henderson, top of the key. Near side, Spiva on a wing. Spiva around the back dribble, puts up the floater. That's no good. Loose ball underneath, picked up by Bush. He's double teamed, and we're going to get a timeout taken by Coach Casey, and it'll be a 30-second timeout for the Eagles of New Albany. They needed that one. They had a little bit of trouble there on the baseline recovery.
Yeah, I think Central, too. You're obviously pushing them early on the offensive side of the glass, but just not able to get those defensive boards and stop the possession, giving them those second chance points. New Albany putting them back here early, giving themselves a little bit of a cushion. Only 4 points, obviously something you can make up pretty quick, but nonetheless, Central's got to get those boards back.
4:02, third quarter, and it's 22-18, New Albany. Westerville Central will break the huddle. New Albany breaks the huddle. It'll be Tyler Gooden, Ethan Burns, Mason Gooden, Henderson, and Matt Brett on the floor for Westerville Central. And for the Eagles, it'll be Kistner, Matucci, Krylov, Jackson, and Grady Bush. Caden Kistner will bring it across left to right for New Albany. Checked by Mason Gooden. Kistner gets it across the timeline, works far side to Matucci. Now top of the key, Jackson finds Krylov onto the right point, gets around Burns, steps back, and then hands it off to Matucci. Jackson left open for a 3, left point, and that one drains in.
Tough break there for the Warhawks. Great defensive from Ethan Burns to be able to stay in front, but easy 3 the other way.
25-18, New Albany. 3:26, third quarter to play. Henderson, far side, Tyler Gooden, back to Henderson, right wing. Henderson against Krylov, bumps off of him from the free throw line, fade away, good.
That's one of those buckets you just expect Josh Henderson to make every single time he delivers there.
5-point lead, New Albany. 3:09 to play, third quarter. Krylov, left side for the Eagles. Krylov against Burns, hands it off to Kistner. Kistner, center logo, dribbles to his left. Now brings it back, checked by Mason Gooden. Kistner pushes him off. Kister goes left side. Matucci for the three. That one's no good. Jackson the rebound, right baseline. Jackson will bring it out. Jackson drives. Kicks out to Kister for the three. Straight on is good.
Again, just a little overdone there on defense. Gooden goes for the big steal, but gives up an easy three on the miss.
8-point lead for New Albany, 28-20. Henderson directing traffic, leads the point. Now drives down to the left block. Lots of contact and a foul as Henderson went up with it.
I think that's going to be a big factor here for the Warhawks, forcing the issue, right? Josh Henderson's got to force the issue, take some control, take some command. Obviously, the rest of his team a little slow right now out of the blocks to start the second half. So how do you get going? You force the issue with your best player.
Grady Bush will pick up his first team second, and he'll put Henderson at the free throw line for Westerville Central. Free throws are big for the Warhawks here now down the stretch as Henderson's able to make that one. He's got 10 points. Subs come in for both teams. Amari Spiva, Westerville Central, and Evan Murfield for New Albany. 2:26 third quarter. Henderson at the line, made his first in a 7-point game. Henderson eyes it, toes it, shoots it, and drains it in.
6 points does not feel like a lot in this game so far, so we're right there in it.
2:21 third quarter. Kister brings it across for New Albany as they lead Westerville Central. Jackson, left point. Checked by Mason Gooden. Comes to the near side. And Matucci out to Krylov after a drive. Skips to the far corner. Jackson pumps the three. Steps inside the arc. Drains a two.
It's been a big shot for Miles Jackson tonight. He's hit a couple of those mid-range shots that really feel like it's been a backbreaker for that Warhawks defense.
30-22 New Albany. 1:52 to play in the third. Henderson, top of the key. Off of a screen, down to the right baseline. Checked by Matucci, feeds back out to Burns. Burns to Spiva. Spiva drives, kicks corner, far side, Gooden, and air ball. Tyler Gooden didn't get enough on it, and it's rebounded by Murfield of New Albany. Jackson, a one-handed bounce to Kister, and he's fouled by Mason Gooden on the attempt.
Again, the Warhawks forced the issue one way, unable to convert, and then forced it the wrong way again. The discipline we talked about pre-game, right? The Warhawks, again, not able to keep themselves composed. They get a little antsy and force the issue.
Third foul on Mason Gooden, team foul number 3, as Caden Kister will go to the line for New Albany, but not before they're going to mop up a little sweat on the floor. Officials good out there with a towel. 90 seconds to play in the third, and Westerville Central down 30-22. The implications of this game in the OCC Ohio are big, and I'm going to try and...
I was going to say, can we get a check-in on that Gahanna score?
I'm going to try and find one. Kister at the line for the Eagles to shoot two. Up and good on the first. He's got 4 points.
I think the big factor so far for me in the second half has been the way New Albany's three-point ball has come alive. They've converted a lot more open looks. It's forced the issue for the Warhawks the other way offensively, trying to force more threes of their own. So we'll see if Central can slow that part of the game down.
Kister makes both. And the score should be 32-22 with 1:21 to play until the end of the third quarter. Tyler Gooden to Ethan Burns, near side Matt Brett on a wing. Matt Brett brings it out. Brett feeds to Amari Spiva at the center logo. He dribbles to the right side, to the free throw line, picks up his dribble in a little bit of a duress, gives it out to Henderson, near side wing. Henderson takes it off a screen, goes into the corner, now tries to back down into the paint, puts up the shot. That one bounces off the rim, no good. 50 seconds to play in the third. Jackson. Off of a screen, a bounce pass to Kister, but Coach Casey says he needs a timeout. And he'll get it. It'll be a full timeout. We'll take one with them as They lead 32-22 on COSN.
How was your drive to school?
Let me tell you, I had to get my iced coffee first. I just can't seem to put it down. My favorite rapper just announced a tour. My phone was buzzing like crazy. I'm so excited. I had to text all my friends right then to talk about it. Then, someone started calling me and...
Let's try that again.
I turned my phone off right away. I never drive distracted.
Visit StopTextStopWrecks.org. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
Hi, I'm Ryan Blaney, a third-generation race car driver, and I dedicate a lot of my time going fast. But when my grandpa was diagnosed with Alzheimer's, it was a very unexpected bump in the road for us. It's important to notice if older family members are acting differently or having trouble with routine tasks. Early detection of Alzheimer's can give your family time to explore support services and access available treatments. If you or your family are noticing changes, it could be Alzheimer's. Talk about seeing a doctor together. Visit alz.org/time-to-talk. A message from the Alzheimer's Association and the Ad Council.
This is the home of the Westerville Central Warhawks, Central Ohio Sports Network.
32-22, New Albany out of the timeout. As they will now inbound it to Matucci from Kistner. Matucci with 26 seconds to Kistner in the near corner. Back out to Matucci. He'll drive down to the right baseline and lose the handle. It's going to be Westerville Central basketball.
Another defensive effort play again. I tell you, Tyler Gooden has shown up in a big way tonight.
21 seconds in the third quarter to play. The only update I could find of the Gahanna-Pickerington North game was Pickerington North at the end of the first quarter was up 20-11. And that was about 40 minutes ago. Ethan Burns to inbound. Man-to-man full court pressure by the Eagles. And Spiva will bring it up. Spiva high right side to Burns, to Henderson, near side wing, 10 on the clock. Henderson gets a screen to his right, moves top of the key, spins in the lane, gets it stripped by Luke Ford. Luke Ford the other way, hesitates, puts it up right side for the layup. And New Albany increases their lead at the end of the third quarter. Westerville Central trails 34-22 on COSN.
Why are interscholastic sports called the last classroom of the day? Because they teach students important life lessons like teamwork, accountability, and perseverance. School sports are so much more than a game. They're about developing the whole person. That's why they're an essential part of every student's education.
Encourage your student to participate in the last classroom of the day. Interscholastic sports in Ohio. This message presented by the OHSAA and the Ohio Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
Connect with Central Ohio Sports Network on Twitter and Instagram at COSN Audio and like us on Facebook at facebook.com/Central Ohio Sports Network. COSN social media will have score updates, pictures from the game, audio clips, interviews, and more. Follow and like today. Central Ohio Sports Network. Sports coverage by the fans. This is the home of the Westerville Central Warhawks, Central Ohio Sports Network.
Start of the fourth quarter, and New Albany leads Westerville Central 34-22. Brent Ford, Wes Minke, Skip Ford keeping the numbers for us in this one, and the Eagles will have it left to right as we see it here from Warhawk Gymnasium. Kistner to the near side, and Jackson. Jackson dribbles it off to Krylov. Krylov holds and then takes his dribble. Gives it off Kistner. That's center logo. To Jackson. To the near side wing. To Matucci, top of the key. Hands it off to Kistner, near side. Kistner to Matucci. Drives down to the baseline. Puts up the floater. That's no good. Got his own rebound. Put back no. Loose ball. And Matucci is going to shoot two at the line, according to the official.
That's just, again, a lack of rebounding from the Warhawks. A pair of rebounds from Matucci inside on his own, and an easy chance at the foul line now.
Now, they called the foul on Mason Gooden. And the official says that Matucci was shooting. Mason Gooden is going to pick up his 4th, team's first. Coach Shaver very displeased with the call. Matucci makes his first free throw.
I think Shaver might have been arguing there that Gooden wasn't near the play, but according to the official, it sounds like he's right behind him, and that's why he got the foul.
They don't like it. Matucci is going to make both free throws. And it's a 36-22 lead for New Albany now with 7:22 to play here in the 4th. Henderson to Burns to Spivo right side as Westerville Central works right to left as we see it. And Spiva and Tyler Gooden lose the basketball on a bad exchange. It goes out of bounds, New Albany basketball.
You can tell Shaver's displeasure is quickly turned to anger and frustration as the Warhawks can't execute on simple things anymore.
He's trying to stay upbeat, the little clap there.
He's putting on a brave face.
Here's Kistner on a drive, a take, and an easy bucket on the right side. He's got 7 points. Under 7 to play, and it's 38-22 New Albany. Amari Spiva drives, puts up the shot, and one. Amari Spiva with a high kiss.
That's a big effort play there for Spiva. Just puts away a nice one. Tries to reignite the Warhawks bench here, but still a lot of work to make up here.
Foul was on Krylov, his 2nd, team's first. And Amari Spiva with a 3-point play opportunity. Will put it up and drop it in. 6 for Amari Spiva. 38-25 New Albany. 6:47 to play. Jackson has it center logo for the Eagles. Looks to his left. Wants to dribble to his left, but feeds it off to Krylov high left. Krylov will move between the circles to Thorne. Check that. That was Bush. Now to Krylov, left point. Krylov. A one-hander to Kistner. Kistner. A pass to Matucci, high right. Matucci drives right of the lane, puts up the layup.
Just a blow by there and an easy layup. There's not a lot of defensive effort from the Warhawks to start this 4th quarter.
40-25, New Albany. Matt Brett a 3 in the far corner. That's no good. Ethan Burns can't get the rebound. And a whistle and a foul on that rebound attempt. Foul was on Miles Jackson of New Albany, his first, team's 2nd. And Westerville Central will inbound. Near side baseline to our left. Spiva to inbound. Goes up top to Henderson. Henderson holds it left point. Burns in the near corner. Back to Henderson, left wing. Under 6 to play. Henderson to Burns, back to Henderson. Henderson gets a look at the baseline, puts up the shot, no. Does draw the foul, though.
I think that'll be the 3rd on Krylov as well, so Warhawk potentially getting their chances at the line and putting the New Albany Stars into some big pressure.
3rd on Krylov, like Wes said, team foul number 3, and Henderson will shoot 2 here at the line for the Warhawks. He's got 11 points so far in this one. Able to sink his first.
I think the Warhawks getting back to the line really could change things here. A couple defensive stops, a couple big offensive scores, and this game's right back in the Warhawks' grasp.
Back iron miss. And Ethan Burns tried to tip it out, but then a whistle and a foul on Ethan Burns as he's trying to get it back from Jackson. Well, it was going to be a foul on Burns, but because he was out of bounds and he touched the ball. Technically, that's not a... Coach Shaver now saying that
if he was out of bounds.
If he was out of bounds, then Jackson was out of bounds, correct? Or who touched it last? Coach Shaver got the explanation he likes.
It reminds me of the old sportsmanship commercial. I touched it, Coach. I touched it.
40-26. Matucci a drive, layup on the right side.
Marco Matucci has had his way in this fourth quarter so far. A lot of easy layups.
He has majority of the fourth quarter points. Henderson a take, and that one sinks in front of the rim. He's got 14. And a 30-second timeout for Westerville Central.
I think this is more of a reset timeout. You know, realign the defense, get a couple stops here, make this a game again, right? 14-point swing right now. The Warhawks down 14, but, you know, a couple threes, a couple defensive stops, and this game's right back into a couple possessions. So I think Max Shelver probably stressing to his team here, let's just get defensive stops. Let's play the way we played early. Let's be aggressive on defense. Force the issue a little bit. If it causes fouls, it causes fouls, but I think you got to play that way if you want to get back in this one.
Coach Shaver trying to get his Warhawks fired up as they trail 42-28 with 5:20 to play here in the game. Reminder, our post-game wrap-up will come up after this. We'll wrap things up here from Westerville Central and get you ready as they get into the Battle of the 614 tomorrow evening at Alumni Hall on the campus of Ohio Dominican. Wes Minke and hopefully Lance Wyatt can join you. Hopefully he's feeling better by then.
I'm going to need him.
I've gone solo for a long time. If I can do it, anybody can do it.
I'm not you.
New Albany has the basketball out of the timeout. Kistner gets a deflection off the rim. Miss. Amari Spiva the other way. Alley-oop to Henderson.
That'll ignite the crowd a little bit. Hopefully get the Warhawks back in it too. It's a huge slam from Josh Henderson.
12-point lead for New Albany. Under 5 to play in the game. 42-30. Jackson, top of the key, works to the near side, and Bush. Bush to Krylov, left point. Now gives it off to Kistner. Kistner drives down the left baseline, then feeds back out to Jackson. Jackson gets a little push foul by Henderson.
Again, that just feels a little sloppy from Josh Henderson. An unforced error, unneeded in that push-off. Just stay in front, play good defensive stops, but forcing the issue again.
Mason Gooden replaces Tyler Gooden. 4:34 to play. Jackson gets it into Kistner. Kistner near side. Bush on the near side wing. Bush will give it outside to Matucci, high right, now to Jackson, left point. A dribble to Krylov, left side wing, drives left baseline, kicks it outside to Bush. Bush attempts to the block, then feeds to Krylov in the far corner. Matucci left wing for a three, off the mark, no good. Ethan Burns with the rebound, Westerville Central.
There's those couple defensive stops. Now the Warhawks got to take advantage the other way.
4 minutes to play in the game. Henderson near side, Spiva on the wing. With the ball, Spiva one-hander to Henderson. Right side, Mason Gooden. Gooden back to Henderson, left point. Thought about the three, takes his dribble, and now pops the three left side and draws the foul as he buries that three from downtown.
That is a huge shot in a huge spot as Josh Henderson sinks a three, looks to make it a 4-point play and cut this New Albany lead down to 8. Could be a huge turn of events here for the Warhawks.
Foul was on Marco Matucci, his second, team's fourth. And now Henderson with a 4-point play opportunity. Takes a deep breath, puts it up, and drops it in. 20 points for Josh Henderson, and it's 42-34. New Albany with 3:37 to play in the game. Kistner will have it for the Eagles. Off to Krylov, left side. Top of the key, Bush. Bush with Burns, checked on him.
Hawks Nest coming alive here now for the Warhawks.
Jackson, Kistner. Kistner dribbles near side, Matucci high right. Into the corner. To Bush, back out to Matucci, high right. Matt Brett on Matucci. Matucci back into the corner, Bush. Matucci, near side wing. A pass to Bush, drives the right side, missed it, front of the rim. And Krylov can't get it to go. Bush got the rebound, but he missed and draws the foul. He'll shoot 2 now.
Couple easy offensive boards again as Westerville Central cannot contain the glass and can't get the ball back. leads to easy points or easy layups in this scenario, and now free throws for New Albany.
Amari Spiva picks up his second, team's third. Grady Bush will go to the line for New Albany. First one is up, and it is good. 5 points for Bush.
I think I can tell you the message here post-game for the Warhawks. It's going to be rebounds.
Bush missed that free throw, the second one, and on the rebound attempt, it goes out of bounds. It was touched by Matt Brett, and it's going to be a full timeout for Coach Casey of New Albany. And we'll step aside as well as Westerville Central trails 43-34 on COSN.
Hi, I'm Beanie Wells. Whatever the sport, wherever it's played, there's one thing that student athletes, coaches, and fans can all share: sportsmanship. The Ohio High School Athletic Association Respect the Game campaign reminds us that school sports are so much more than wins and losses. On behalf of the OHSAA, let's all do our part to make school sports a fun, positive, and rewarding experience that student athletes will remember for a lifetime. Every game, every time, let's all respect the game.
This message presented by the Ohio High School Athletic Association.
This is the home of the Westerville Central Warhawks, Central Ohio Sports Network.
2:55 to play in the game, and New Albany with their full timeout leads 43-34. Westerville Central breaks the huddle, and they will discuss things in that huddle and try to figure it out. Matt Brett, Amari Spiva, Ethan Burns, Josh Henderson, Mason Gooden on the floor for Westerville Central. And each team with 2 timeouts remaining. Krylov inbounds far corner, looking, defending that inbound was Matt Brett, and Matucci gets it high left. Almost went into the backcourt.
Got close there.
Matucci, near side point. Hands it off Kistner. Kistner to Bush, back out to Kistner in the near side wing. A one-hander to Jackson, almost stolen away by Spiva. Jackson double-teamed, finds a flashing Bush to the left block. Jackson cuts toward the rim, lays it up off a handoff, and it goes in. He'll shoot 2 off the foul.
It's just a little bit of a over-aggressive defensive sequence there for the Warhawks. A couple plays where they got close on it, just couldn't get the ball away, and it bites him with an easy layup the other way, +1 here at the line.
Josh Henderson picks up his second foul, team's 4th. Jackson at the line for the 3-point play opportunity. As he eyes it, toes it, shoots it. And it falls off the rim. Bush gets the rebound, saves it from going out of bounds, and Jackson will have it after that for New Albany. 45-34. Bush off the feed from Matucci, gets it to go off the glass for 2. He's got 7. 47-34. New Albany leads. Amari Spiva down to the right block, and it's going to be a jump ball. Possession arrow favors Westerville Central as Spiva got tied up with Krylov.
Well, what was a great defensive effort in that first half by Central. It's kind of faded away here in the second half. They've lost a lot of their ability to stay in front, lost a lot of control, haven't been able to get those boards defensively.
Mason Gooden, right point for Westerville Central. On to the right wing to Henderson. Henderson, a drive, a kick near side, wide open 3 for Spiva, and he drains it.
It's a big shot, cuts it down to 10 points here as the Warhawks look to stay alive.
47-37, under 2 minutes to play in the game. And then a travel, at least I thought, Matucci drug his foot, and the official said, didn't see it. Jackson, high right. Jackson now center circle off of a screen. Jackson double-teamed, gets it off Kistner. He drives. Krylov far corner. Down to the wing. Kistner into the paint. Cuts near side to Bush. Bush, a one-hander outside to Matucci, and a whistle and a foul by Josh Henderson. That'll be the 3rd on Josh Henderson, team foul number 5, which puts New Albany in the bonus and at the free throw line to shoot 2 the rest of the way.
You mentioned Matucci's came alive here in this 4th quarter. Second half in general was He ain't slowed down yet.
Matucci, first one is up, and it is good. 9 points. Makes it 48-37 with 1:20 on the clock. Another one for Marco Matucci. And rolls off the front of the rim, no good. Bush got the rebound. But it's going to be a jump ball because Henderson had his hand on top of it as they were coming down. The possession arrow favors New Albany.
I think on that play there, Josh Henderson thought potentially there was going to be a call for a travel, but I'm not sure New Albany ever moved.
Everybody walks over to wipe the sweat up off the floor with their sneakers, but then they get a towel in there.
Do it the professional way.
Yeah. Official down there wiping it up. A minute 19 on the fourth quarter clock, and New Albany leads 48-37. Kistner to inbound, near sideline or near baseline to our right. Goes up top to Bush. Bush splits two defenders to Krylov in the near corner. Krylov with Burns all over him. Goes up top to Jackson. Jackson to Kistner. Kistner high left to Matucci. Matucci feeds it off to Kistner left side as we're under a minute to play. Jackson on the right block, feeds to Bush left side. And that one bounces off the rim, no good. Bush gets his own rebound, but a whistle and a foul. And I think we're headed the other way, actually. Foul's going to be on New Albany. Foul is on Grady Bush of New Albany, his second, team's fifth. And I believe that'll put Ethan Burns at the free throw line for New Albany, and Coach Tim Casey having the same Max Shaver reaction after that foul call, and he can't believe it. He doesn't understand it.
A lot of explanations tonight from officials.
Yeah.
More than usual.
Ethan Burns with 2 at the line for Westerville Central. He's got 3 points on the evening. And that one back iron, no good. Another one for Burns, missed his first. That one's going to drop in. 4 points for Ethan Burns. 10-point game, 48-38. 50 seconds to play. Matucci wide open, middle of the lane. And with a one-handed flush. Back the other way, Amari Spiva gets blocked, but he does draw the foul. He'll shoot 2.
Just feels like the Warhawks kind of fell apart defensively, especially in that transition defense in this second half. They played so well early on, but just couldn't keep the pressure up.
Miles Jackson with his second. Amari Spiva to the line for Westerville Central. First one up and good for Amari Spiva. He's got 10 points. Now it's on the schedule. The next meeting between these two teams is after the sectional tournament starts in late February. Second one missed, but then Matt Brett tips it in.
It's an impressive play, honestly. No matter how you want to score it, that's a little lucky play, but I'll take it.
Well, anything you can get right there. Matt Brett with 2. And it'll be a full timeout for Coach Shaver. But we'll keep it here because I was getting ready to say that the next meeting between these two teams will be the last regular season game, quote unquote, for Westerville Central. But it's on a Saturday afternoon, February 22nd, after the sectional tournament starts. So we're already in the postseason. And that's the way high school basketball goes. You can do that kind of scheduling. But Westerville Central is going to have almost 10 days off from February 14th to that New Albany game, unless there's a sectional tournament game in between there for the Warhawks.
Valentine's Day, February 14th.
Yeah, right here at Warhawk Gymnasium, we'll be feeling the love.
What better way to spend it, am I right?
It's the only way I'm going to spend it. .38 seconds to play. It's 50-41 New Albany. And New Albany will inbound. Marco Matucci will inbound at near side baseline to our left. 2 timeouts for New Albany, 1 for Westerville Central. Jackson is going to go with a 1 deep toss to Matucci, and he lays it up for 2. He's got 13. They threw it on the baseline to Jackson. And then Amari Spiva with a drive at the other end. That's no good. Tipped out, got his own rebound. Out to Henderson, right wing for the 3. Rims in and out, no good. Mason Gooden the rebound and draws the foul with 20 seconds to play.
Like I said, I've been impressed with Gooden tonight. Defensive effort both ways, playing along the boards. He's fought hard. He's obviously a little undersized against some of these bigger dudes like Krylov and Grady Bush down below. But Gooden's had a lot of heart. He's played with a lot of toughness. He's given the Warhawks a chance on the defensive glass, but again, there's only so much he can do.
Misses that first free throw. And if Westerville Central would have made a few more free throws, the score differential might have been a little closer. Mason Gooden makes his second attempt. Matt Brett is back in for Tyler Gooden. 20 seconds to play and a 10-point lead for New Albany. Jackson will be fouled. On the inbound, he'll go to the line. Foul was on Matt Brett, his second for Westerville Central. .19 seconds to play. Jackson to shoot 2 for New Albany. First one is up, and that one is good. 11 for Jackson. Second one is up and good as well for Miles Jackson. 12 points for him. Makes it 54-42. One-handed slam for Henderson and a quick timeout by Coach Shaver. And that'll be the last timeout for Coach Shaver. And although aggressive on that dunk, doesn't really do too much at the moment, unfortunately, for Westerville Central. The lead is 10.
Maybe a little early on in the night. Could have given the Warhawks a little more juice there, but just a little bit of a case of a too little too late, rather. Like we said, the effort was there early. The effort was there in that first half. Just maybe fell off a little bit. Maybe ran out a little bit of a juice, a little bit of energy. I think the Warhawks got plenty of fight left. Obviously, we've seen them play well. They play efficiently, but fouls and foul shots caught up to them tonight. Just unable to stay ahead.
Trying to find a score update from that Gahanna-Pickerington North game, so try to have that as well with 12 seconds to play here. Westerville Central trails New Albany 54-44. And actually, I got a final. Pickerington North beats Gahanna 64-54.
So regardless, Westerville Central should stay ahead off a tiebreaker technicality.
Yep.
With the win over Gahanna, so at worst, you're tied for third.
Jackson to inbound, and it was almost a steal by Mason Gooden. That's going to be the 5th foul on Mason Gooden. And it'll put New Albany back at the line. Matt Brett will come in for Mason Gooden. And Coach Shaver embracing Mason Gooden after that. Caden Kistner will go to the line for New Albany to shoot the free throws with 11 seconds to play. Up and good. 8 points for Kistner. Makes it 55-44 New Albany. Another one for Kistner. Back iron. It's actually going to hit the strap up above. It does go through the cylinder, but it doesn't count because it hit that strap.
Out of bounds.
Out of bounds, yep. Final 10 seconds. Mari Spiva brings it up for Westerville Central. Looks for a screen, near side wing, 5 seconds. Into the lane he goes, puts up the layup, no, but he does draw the foul, and he'll shoot a pair at the free throw line. Krylov picks up his 4th for New Albany. It'll be 2 for Amari Spiva. First one back iron, no good. 3 seconds to play. Mari Spiva is able to sink that one. And that's 11 for Amari Spiva. Makes it 55-45. Westerville Central trailing New Albany. Final 3 seconds. New Albany to inbound. Full court pressure, Westerville Central. They get it in, and that'll do it. The Eagles are going to get the win over Westerville Central by a final score of 55-45. Our postgame wrap-up is next here on COSN.
I perform for our high school choir director, who taught me to breathe from the diaphragm and sing from the heart.
Speech, debate, theater, music. The performing arts teach valuable life lessons that typically aren't taught in the classroom. They help high school students learn leadership skills that prepare them to enjoy more satisfying, productive lives.
Hey, I've got a question for you. Who will you perform for?
This message presented by the Ohio High School Athletic Association and the high school in your community.
Put your phone on D&D, that means do not disturb when you're driving. And when you're going from point A to B, I need you to stay safe, please, so always sing with me. So put your phone on D&D, that means do not disturb when you're driving. And when you're going from point A to B, I need you to stay safe, please, so always remember this beat.
Don't drive distracted. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
Man, I loved playing high school sports growing up. And it's fun being a fan now, don't get me wrong, but sitting in the stands feels like I'm missing out on all the action, you know? I wanted to get back in the game, so I signed up to be a high school official. It takes me back to my playing days. I'm supporting students, and I get paid to make the big calls. Do you want to see the game up close? Sign up to become an official in Ohio at highschoolofficials.com.
Welcome to Post-Game Wrap-Up on Central Ohio Sports Network.
Final score of 55-45. New Albany with the win over Westerville Central. Welcome inside the post-game wrap-up on COSN. Brent Ford, Wes Minke, statistician Skip Ford calculating up those final numbers for us, but we can walk through some of the leading scorers in this one. For New Albany, 3 leading scorers. Krylov and Matucci each had 13 points. Miles Jackson with 12, 7 for Grady Bush, 8 for Kistner, and 2 for Luke Ford there at the end of the first half. Leading scorer Westerville Central was Josh Henderson with 22. Amari Spiva had 11. Ethan Burns with 4. 3 for Gooden, for both Goodens, actually. They each had 3 points. Matt Brett with 2 in the final for this one, as Westerville Central will now move to 4-9 overall. 10-2 is New Albany. The Eagles are now 4-1 in divisional play. The Warhawks are 3-2 in the OCC Ohio with the loss tonight. And, you know, I think you said it during the break, Wes. It was a solid 16 minutes to start the game. And New Albany was the one that came out and started a little faster, and Westerville Central just lost a little bit of the edge in that third quarter.
Yeah, you play a team that's red hot like this, too. I mean, 9 straight wins now from New Albany. Obviously, it's firing on all cylinders. The Warhawks coming off 2 straight wins, feeling good about their game. Obviously, we mentioned very talented team as well. But like I said, just early 16 minutes, they played well. They played aggressive. They played efficient. They were able to move the ball around a lot. Second 16, different game, right? Different aggressiveness. The Warhawks came out a little more foul heavy, a little less ability to make the shots, kind of less efficient as well on the offensive side of the ball. So I'd say rebounds are my big takeaway from this game tonight. Obviously, the Warhawks struggled to rebound the ball over New Albany. And that's a size thing as well. We put a lot of smaller guards down there that just, outmanned, outsized. But the end of the day, tough draw for the Warhawks, tough second half, but a lot of skill, a lot of game left, so a lot of season left to play too.
The size doesn't get any better tomorrow night when they take on
it does
Lindsley out of West Virginia, and the battle of the 614 down at Ohio Dominican. And Lindsley they're taller than New Albany.
I like that it's the battle of the 614. Yet Lindsley is not in the 614.
Well, the idea behind the tournament is just to promote how good the 614 has in basketball. So they like to bring those, because last year Westerville Central played Belmont out of Dayton in that Battle of the 614, which Belmont is in town tomorrow because they'll be in New Albany taking on the Eagles.
Wow. Quick bounce back there.
Yeah.
It's weird the way the world works sometimes, huh?
Belmont and New Albany play at 6 o'clock tomorrow evening. Westerville Central will take on Lindsley at 8 o'clock, which you and Lance will have the call on that one tomorrow.
Can't wait. It'll be a fun one.
It will be. And the one thing I want to point out, I think that we have to keep reminding people, is the defensive play by Mason and Tyler Gooden tonight. Without them, there wouldn't have been a lot of second-chance opportunities.
Yeah, I mentioned, too, that defensive glass. I mean, Mason Gooden, not a huge kid, right? 6 foot. His brother Tyler Gooden, only 5'10". For whatever reason, it feels like every one of those offensive glass or defensive boards that Central did come away with was in one of those hands.
Mm-hmm.
So I mentioned, obviously, the effort from Mason Gooden I was really impressed with. A tough second half, obviously a couple fouls early on caused him to sit, and then he has that 5th foul late. But a good effort tonight. I like his play, the way he's stepped up defensively for the Warhawks, give him an extra man, an extra chance, really, on the defensive glass, but need more effort everywhere else.
Westerville Central falling 55 to 45, and I'm stalling a little bit because I'm curious to what we shot. I'm waiting for those statistician to come over with those. So that's my longevity.
Ask and you shall receive.
Of my pauses. Oh, God, look at that timing. Westerville Central in this game shot 34% from the field, 14 of 41, 22% from behind the arc, 4 of 18. And this is the one that I was curious about. 59% at the line, 13 of 22.
Yeah.
22 boards, 6 of those by Spiva, 7 steals. Tyler Gooden had 3 of those, 7 turnovers for the Warhawks. But the free throw percentage is low. In the last 5 years, you're used to the free throw percentage being very high, not having to worry about the free throw attempts. It was the three-point shooting that was always a little bit in question, but it's the overall kind of shooting right now from the field, behind the arc, and at the foul line that those percentages are just a little low right now for Westerville Central. And Coach Shaver has talked about it before. They need to take better quality shots, high percentage shots, and when they get to the line, they have to go through their routine, and they got to make those free throws. He talked about that in the pregame because I asked him about that, and he said it's got to be a point of emphasis. It's very important, especially now down the stretch. We're talking about tournament time and seeding. Wins are important. Your record helps decide where you're going to be seated, and Westerville Central needs some of those wins to stay in the game and get better seeding.
Yeah, I mentioned, too, I mean, you mentioned foul shooting. Obviously, that's something that the Warhawks can go ahead and work on, but I feel like it was also forcing the issue early, right? I mean, it was a 1-point game at half, 14-15, I believe, is the score. New Albany led. But the first 5 shots Central attempted in that first quarter were all from Josh Henderson, and only 2 of them, I'd say, were probably good shots. So it's forcing the issue, yes, but it's also making sure you have the right shots. Obviously, you want the ball in Josh Henderson's hands most of the time, and I think Coach Shaver is going to be okay with those shots. But looking back on it, right, forcing the issue with the right shots, a lot of open looks around the arc. It doesn't always have to be Josh Henderson, doesn't always have to be Amari Spiva. Sometimes I saw Matt Brett would flash open for a 3, confident shots. He had a couple of them. He obviously rimmed out that 1-3, but he gets a couple of those to go. Yeah. Confidence builds up again. Those shots become pretty cash. So something to look at, but again, tough early opponent for the Warhawks to fall to, but you like the effort from the first half, and I'm sure that's something Coach Shaver will emphasize to the team.
A New Albany team that only has 2 seniors, and they're junior heavy, and they also are going to be in the Division II state tournament like Westerville Central, so we could see New Albany make a run in the D2 field, but they are a talented team, and they only can get better with all those juniors that they've got.
Yeah, we mentioned that junior heavy team. Miles Jackson and Grady Bush, the only 2 seniors. Both of them played well tonight. Grady Bush got a little bit of foul trouble early on, so lost some of his usual minutes. But, yeah, you mentioned junior heavy. That team's going to be scary next year. I mean, this year as well, but next year, I can't imagine.
Yeah. 55-45, your final score. Westerville Central falls to New Albany in this one. New Albany will be back at home tomorrow evening at 6 o'clock when they will play host to the Bison of Belmont out of Dayton area. Westerville Central will be down at the Battle of the 614 to take on the Cadets of the Lindsay School at 8 o'clock. 7:45 will be the pregame coverage from Wes Minke and Lance Wyatt down there at Alumni Hall at Ohio Dominican. But from here, Warhawk Gymnasium, I'm Brent Ford saying one last time that the Warhawks fall to New Albany 55-45. Here on your home of the Warhawks, this is Central Ohio Sports Network.
This has been Post-Game Wrap-Up on Central Ohio Sports Network. The preceding has been a presentation of Central Ohio Sports Network and may not be rebroadcast in any fashion without express written consent from Central Ohio Sports Network. Central Ohio Sports Network is not affiliated with any school district. For more information on Central Ohio Sports Network or how to advertise or sponsor with COSN, please visit cosnaudio.com. Central Ohio Sports Network. Sports coverage by the fans.